Hello, good morning, friends. Today we're going to start a new series, which is Telnet and remote login. So, uh, the next part of a computer network, we're going to deal with it. So, next topic is Telnet. What is a Telnet? A Telnet is an abbreviation for terminal networks. Telnet enables the local terminal appear to be terminal at remote systems. So, what is the meaning of this? So telnet is nothing a protocol which is used to control the um, remote machines easily. Suppose I want to communicate to systems and just I want to share some resources on sitting in my location only. So I can control that machine, another machine. So one is client and one is server. So I can take the control of that control complete client, and what I want to explain him, I can explain on his screen sitting on my place only. That is nothing but telnet. So what is concept? So what concept telnet provides us? So it provides us time sharing, environment login, local login, remote login. These are nothing but the concepts of our telnet. So first we will study the time sharing environment. Telnet was designed for time sharing operating system. In time sharing operating system, a large computer supports multiple users. Interaction between a user and computer occurs through a terminal. So we have a lot of machines. So when through with that machines, we are going to share the common system with all the clients. At the time of time sharing environment, all of the processing is done by the central computer, that is remote computer. So time sharing creates an environment in which each user has the illusion of dedicated computer. The computer can run a program, access the system resources, switch from one program to the another. So you have a illusion of that complete screen on your another screen. So from where I can show anything to the particular host. So it creates that environment. So from where I can share any kind of resources to the particular machine. Next concept, login. So in time sharing environment, users are part of the system with some right to access the resources. So here we can say that if you want to access our system, he has to log into particular system. To log in the particular system, he has to be authenticate person. So he knows the password of my machine, then only he can join to my system. Otherwise, no. That is log. Next, local login. When a user logs into a much local time sharing system, it is called local login. So here we can say we have a college. In that college, we have connected some of the machines. One is client and another. Some of them are server, and sorry, one server and some of the machine local. And I want to share some resources to that particular application, like that environment, local environment. As a user types a terminal, the keystrokes are accepted by the terminal drivers. The terminal driver passes the characters to the operating system. The operating system interprets the combination of characters and involves the desired application flow. The combination of characters has a special meaning, such as control 3 or broad. So some of the characteristics that we have to, if the client is typing it, it will convert by operating system and it will be displayed on your screen. Next, remote login. So what is remote login? You can see in this diagram also. There is a simple diagram is shown. So this is one machine of local, and it is another machine which is connected through the internet somewhere else, or it may be on your campus only. So you may consider it may be sitting on a campus, or you may consider that you are sitting in some location and another person is sitting in another location. So here the client will going to request something. So it is going to the terminal driver. So what is terminal driver? Whatever you typing in the information, that is going to convert by your terminal driver, and that converted information is passed to your internet, and that information is passed to the telnet server. Again, it required a special uh, conversion terminal, pseudo terminal drivers, to convert that information which has been received from the client to display on his machines. So simply it may be a server to client. Okay, so once we will discuss the remote login. If you If user want to access the remote login applications or utility located on remote machine, he or she performs remote login. So if you want to access some resources of remote location, so you have to perform is remote login. So the client, telnet client and server can be used for the above cases. The user sends some keystroke to the terminal driver. So as we discussed it here, terminal driver. So we'll send them information to the terminal driver where local operating system accept those character. It will be accept that and convert into a universal character set called virtual terminal, that is network virtual terminal character, and deliver them to the local TCP IP stack. So what is happening here? This is a terminal, or you can say it is your machine. So on this machine you are typing some information and passing to the terminal driver, which is accepted by this operating system, and it will accept that and it will convert into a form, and which is be in the form of network virtual terminal characters, and that information is passed to the network and it is accepted at the pseudonym terminator, which will back convert into the same format what actually client has typed. The command or text in NVT form travel through the internet and arrive at the TCP/IP stack at the remote machine. The character were delivered to the operating system and passed to the telnet server, which changes the corresponding characteristic understandable by the remote contact. So as we discussed that only, it will be accepted by pseudo terminal and finally it is accepted. Okay. Next, what is then network virtual terminal? So when we communicating between remote login, so this is one of the important thing which is going to convert our information what is client typed or server typed between communication between client and server. So we are dealing with the heterogeneous system where every operating system accepts a special combination of character as token. So whatever we are typing in the information, it will be considered as a token. So even if I typed something number, so it will convert into a token. If I typed a, then also it will convert in some token format. For example, consider control z is suspended operation in Windows, whereas control D is suspended operation in Unix. So both commands are same, but commands are different, but same operation is done between your Windows operating system. So telnet solve this type of problem by universal interface called as a network virtual terminal characteristics. So whatever information is typing are same commands but has representation little bit different, so that will be get converted by a network terminal virtual terminal characteristics. With virtual network virtual terminal, the client translate the characters that come from the local terminator into NVT form and deliver them to the network. The server telnet translate the command and they convert into the acceptable remote computer form. So here a diagram shown of NVT. So what is this in this? So it is a terminal. It is local computer characteristics. It is typed something information. The telnet can send to the NVT. So NVT characteristics. It will again converting back to the remote characteristics form, and it is accepted. Next, NVT characteristics. So NVT has two different types of characteristics which is used to transfer the information. One is data character, another is control character. So both are 8 bits used to transfer the information. The highest bit is in the data character is 0 and control character it is 1. What is data characters? So this is a 8-bit character set in which 7 lowest order bits are same as US ASCII keys, and the higher bit is 0, which is used to transmit the information. Okay. So next, control characters. There are a lot of different types of control characters we are used. The table is shown for the different types of control characters. To send the control characters between client and server and vice versa, NVT uses an 8-bit character sets in which highest order bit is set to 1, as we already seen in the above diagram. So it is set as maximum 1. For data character it is 0. So let's see little bit zoom and different types of control characters. So I will has listed lot, I will read some of them for you. So the maximum used is end of file, end of record, sub options, no operation, data mark, break, interrupt process. We are using maximum interrupt process. We are using ICA, interrupt as control. That is the next character to be transfer the information. So will, won't, do, don't do. So these are the special types of additional options or additional control options are given to the client or the terminal. Okay, client and server application or terminals to exchange the information between each other. So these are nothing but about control characteristics. Next, what is embedding? So see, what is the embedding? So telnet uses one TCP connection, server uses well-known port 23 and client uses the empirical port number. So we all know that we have 1023 well-known port number. In that, 23 is used by the telnet to communicate between the client and server. And as we know the empirical port number from 1024 to 49,000 something, which is used for empirical port number, which is used by one of the port to the client to communicate between the telnet. The same connection is used for sending both data and control characteristics. To distinguish data from the control characters, each sequence of control characters is preceded by a special control called interpreter as control. So what is trying to explain? When we want to send some information of data and control characteristics, there is a space is provided. Okay, there is a some spatial precedence is provided to separate between data and control characteristics. Let's see what is example of embedding. Suppose we have shown here a diagram. In this diagram, so I will directly deal with this. So here in the above example, it is explained that cat file A backspace 1. Suppose you are trying to transmit information from source to the destination or destination to source, a file that is named as file A, and you by mistakenly typed instead of file A, file 1. Okay, anything you can consider. You have file name as a file 1 and instead of that you typed a file A. So how we will going to correct it? You cannot correct at the client location or local machine. It should be corrected at the server only. So it will type that cat file A ICA EC1. So what is that ICA? I already discussed here. What is ICA? Is the next character. Interpret next character as control. Okay, it's going to tell that A is mismatched and this is nothing but ICA, and EC nothing but erase control. It is going to erase that. Instead of A, it will consider as a 1. So this is nothing but embedded. So now I will explain in detail. Suppose a user mismatched a file A instead of a file 1 on client terminal. The user uses the backspace key to correct this situation. So situation is shown cat file A backspace 1. However, the above editing is not done at locally. The editing is done at remote server. So I was just said that this mistake has been whatever typed by client is cannot be edited at the client side. It should be edited at remote side only. So backspace character is translated into two remote characters, and that is ICA and EC. So backspace is nothing but ICA and EC, which is embedded in the data and sent to the remote server.